This next comic was introduced to me by actually by a local actor that many of you are very familiar with, who just played the lead in the music band, Mike Monroney, in the audience. He's Uncle Mike to this next performer, who is a former airline pilot, and I just found out, runner-up in the brawny paper towel guy look-alike contest. Jessica, did you get that one?
Yeah.
His wife was out there. She's a sweetheart, too. He's performed a few times for me down Valley at Steve's Guitars, which is one of our favorite venues. And he's the next guy up on our list. Please put your hands together for Mr. Travis Klein.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Is that a good time? You guys are a great crowd. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I can't hear me. No problem. You guys have a great Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Well, that sounds convincing. I think when you have Thanksgiving, I think at the beginning of the day you're really thankful for family, food, and then after a couple hours of that you're really thankful for booze and Pepto. And I think at the end of the day, after you've eaten so much, it's really kind of like your indicator it's time to start working out. At least for me anyways, when the teeth on your zipper of your pants are really straining to hold it together. I recently went to the gym to find out how bad of shape I'm actually in. When I was younger, I was able to hold my breath for 3 minutes. No big deal. 18 seconds was my record. And it's kind of sad because I can fart longer than that. But it's just because I sit around and I watch too much cable. I mean, I watch a lot of TV. And I made myself a deal that every 6 hours of cable I'd watch, I'd work out for an hour. So I canceled cable. But one thing I hate about the gym is wearing sandals at the urinal. Many guys will know what I'm talking about. But what makes it worse is when you feel the sprinkles on your feet, but you haven't started peeing yet. It's really kind of gross. Another thing that I can't stand about the gym is when people ask, what kind of shoes are those, or what kind of shirt you got, or what flavor is your deodorant. Like I tasted it before I. That's kind of weird. It's scent, by the way. I remember one time I worked out in the morning, and before I went to work, I had you shave because as a professional pilot, as you can tell, I'm really looking at it now. You like to shave in the morning. And one of the mornings, the last sink that was available to shave was one of those handicap sinks that are really long. They're kind of built like a twin bed. And so you've got to stand to the side to shave. For me, like I'm a little OCD, so I've got to shave a little on each side. So there you go. About 20 minutes. I remember my buddy telling me one day that we got done working out and he said, man, I'm going to go home and sleep like a baby. To me that tells me he's going to wake up every 3 hours crying because he just crapped his pants. Does anybody wear glasses in here?
Oh, yeah.
Contacts, anybody?
Yep.
I just got LASIK surgery.
Yeah.
Have you heard that before?
Woo!
Pretty awesome. Say that again?
Would be wearing contacts if I had.
Oh. What? Anyways, I got LASIK recently, and one of the things that's great about it is it's supposed to open up all this time, especially in the morning and night, for those who wear contacts. But for me, it just gives me that gap between brushing my teeth and going to bed where I'm like, what do I do now? But one thing that I hate about contacts is when I wake up in the morning I wouldn't put my contacts in until I showered because it was so dry and rough on my eyes. Good thing about LASIK, I never have to shower again. Guys, do you ever look at your wife or significant other and say, maybe it is Maybelline? I'm just kidding, ladies. I know you're like Mark said, I used to be an airline pilot, and sometimes it was pronounced alcoholic. My wife would call me a pilot with a drinking problem, and now I'm just a drunk with a passion for flying. Anybody flying today? For the show? Airports are crazy. There's a lot of emotions at the airport. I mean, you're really happy when people come in, and you're kind of sad when people leave. But I think for me, it's irritation. Thanks to the Transportation Security Administration, you know, the TSA, or as I like to call them, thousands standing around. There's just so many rules to follow. You know, you got 1 bag of this, 3 ounces of that, blah, blah, blah. I can never remember when you're going through security whether they want babies in a bin or if you can just put them right on the bus. And then when you go through security, you got to take your shoes off, you know, because of the shoe bomber. The whole place smells like feet. I'm just glad the underpants bomber stayed home. But before I became a pilot, I worked the ramp for 6 years. That's the ground crew, where I gently placed bags. I was in a trip one time in Costa Rica, and I saw a guy with 1 arm doing it. I felt really bad for him. Then I thought about it, he's only working half as hard as everybody else. Being a pilot, you fly with different guys all the time, and one of the things that I used to do if I knew I was going to fly with somebody I didn't like, I'd eat lunch at a place that really burped nasty. So the whole flight is like... And if I really didn't like him, I would fart silently. I'd wait just a few seconds. I'd look over at him and ask, "You smell smoke?"